Hey there guys, hey, good to be back with you once again, and today we're going to play something a little bit different but the same as before, so we'll just go ahead and jump straight into this. Here, I'll turn the audio on here for you. This is the IBM PC version of Blades of Steel. Let's see what I have to push here. Oh, we have to push escape. And the question I have, no, it doesn't work with the controller. So let's see if I can, yeah, I have to have the numlock on. That's what gets that to work. And how do I get it to go in? So as you can tell, this is not exactly the easiest thing in the world to get figured out.
Blades of Steel.
Okay, so that does do that. Let's see if one of these buttons are going to let us into this game here. Okay, I pushed like C or something like that. It was trying to tell me to configure. Okay, looks like the V button is what selects stuff. Alright, we're just choosing stuff at random. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm happy that I can get anything to work. So, alright, here we go. Let's try Blades of Steel on the IBM. This is from 1990, if I saw it right. And so these extended graphics, which I'm guessing are VGA, are actually pretty good, all things considered. So let's see what the game sort of plays like. Is it waiting? It's waiting for me to push the button. So, okay, now I push the button here. And this is going to be fun as we try to figure out which button we are allowed to push. Yeah, this is so we can get the game to go. I just can't figure out which button is shoot or pass or anything like that. It's not spacebar, it's not control, it's not enter. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So if I push the 0 number, that'll do it. So I have to like hold my controls really weird. So I have my right hand here on the numlock, and my I'm sorry, yeah, on the numlock. My left hand is on my arrow keys. I'm just trying to figure out what else we can do in addition to just pushing 0. Or is that it? Is there only one like button and that's it? That's all you get? So I can't say that like the graphics of this game are anything like special or anything like that. I'm not able to figure out, at least so far, how to get in a fight or to do anything or anything like that. Yeah, so you can see I can go diagonally here if I'm using those ones. I can go up, down, left, right. There we go. So if I push, it's period that passes. So kind of awkward controls, but it's a normal control scheme for older games like this. And so period does change from one player to the next, which means that fight has got to be the 0 button, except nothing happens when I push it. And we just shoot at the goal over and over and over again. So so much for thinking that this game has like better sound or something like that. I mean, it's a PC speaker, right? So it's not like, this is Commander Keen age. But you have to remember too that if this is 1990 when this game is coming out, the NES game was already 2 years old by this time. I mean, this was like old news. It's not like this is like the first hockey game ever made or something like that. Oh, okay, so that's a goal. So apparently that was a goal. Yeah, this is a lot of fun to try to figure out when you're live on camera. At least it says something that sounds kind of like Face Off. Oh, what was that? That was the end of the period? Okay, that was the end of the period. So we're down 1-0.
Face off.
Yeah, Face Off is what he says. It's the one voice in this game is the guy saying Face Off. Anyway, I'm interested to know if any of you have played this game on the PC before. I didn't even know that this existed until I looked it up. I'm kind of surprised that it existed at all. I don't think that there actually is a way. What happened? So the puck kind of got frozen? I'm not sure what that was all about. I'm not sure there's actually a way to get in a fight with anybody. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like there's any way to actually like hit somebody. You just sort of run into them. I'm also not sure if there's a way to actually score a goal other than getting really, really lucky. So there is a way that you can fall down. So that part of the original game is still here. There is also a way that you can lose the puck really quickly and have them shoot a goal like before you even have the chance to recover. So remember, I have this on junior mode. So the easiest mode of the game, and we're unable to score any goals or make anything happen, and we just get knocked all over the place. So how about that? The other version of this game that I do want to try is the Amiga version. I'm guessing that we'll probably try that a little bit later on. Yeah. This is that stupid thing where you're supposed to control the goalie at the same time that you're controlling your defender. I've complained about that already. I'm not going to bore you too much with more of the details of my observations about this game that is extremely old and very, very frustrating as a result. Oh, we actually scored. How about that? So we can score a goal. It is possible for us to score a goal. So I've discovered that probably the easiest way to control this game is to just use my right hand and that's it. Because if the num lock is on, then you can control both like the way that the guy's going and whether you're shooting or passing. That's about it though. Like I said, I mean, in theory, pushing 0 should do the same thing that pushing, I think it was the A button in the NES game does. But in reality, it doesn't really do anything. You just sort of like run into guys and then you shoot as soon as you touch the puck. And see, this is the thing. If you're wondering, if you're interested about the history of PC gaming, one of the things I can tell you is that back in these days, this is a little bit before I started doing PC gaming. I was probably 92 is when I started, when we got our first computer. But a lot of the games were kind of like this. The thing is that back in like the really old days, like nobody thought of PC gaming being better than console gaming, which is kind of strange when you look at some of the old console games and you think, man, this feels so like primitive almost, PC gaming was mostly kind of like this, or like if you've ever played Mega Man for MS-DOS. I had a friend who had that game. It's kind of funny, we were really into the Mega Man games back in those days, right? But he never ever wanted to play Mega Man for DOS because the game's just so bad. Like, it's not any fun, right? Anyway, that's kind of what this experience is like, the old Blades of Steel on MS-DOS experience. The music is there. The sound effects are there, right? It sounds kind of like, the old Commander Keen games, except worse. Those games had actually, more variety of sound. It honestly feels like this game was not really, oh, here we go. There's got to be some other button I'm supposed to be pushing. Yeah, if I push enter, I can do stuff. Oh no, maybe it's this button. No, it is enter. If I push enter like a million times, it does something. But then I get beaten up and I get knocked out. And he just says, ah. Okay, so there you have it. So I suppose that enter is one of the buttons as well. I think. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to tell exactly what it is I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, we did figure out that you can fight in this game. That is good to know. So it is a complete version of Blades of Steel. They didn't take anything out. I will say though, remember we played the Game Boy game a little while ago, and I had nothing but complaints about that. This one is very, very similar to that in that, like, for some reason the screen keeps jittering all over the place. And so, like, you get it and you're going straight and the screen's kind of like going up and down and all that stuff. I'm not sure what causes that, but whatever causes that, they should have gotten rid of it, right? I mean, it's not like these sprites aren't even really that big. There's no reason why you can't fit, the entire, height of the ice on the screen at once, right? Like it should just be like this the whole time, right? Instead of kind of, scrolling up and scrolling down. I guess that they want to do that so that you can see like the people in the crowd or something, but it ends up not working very well at all. You end up getting lost and you end up feeling a little bit of sort of like motion sickness as you're trying to get used to this game, like shaking around. So anyway, I say you feel motion sick. I'm not actually feeling sick, right? This isn't Neighbor Nerds or something like that, right? I'm not actually feeling sick when I play this game, but it's got that kind of effect to it, that kind of feel to it that makes you think like, oh geez, why are we doing this? Well, my guy's not strong at all. He just got totally hammered by the other guy. The other thing I'll tell you is that this game plays faster than the NES game. There's no question about that. This is a very, very fast-paced game where I feel like we're running out of time like already. So much for the idea of having a 20-minute video. I honestly could not stand playing this game for another couple minutes. My apologies. But yeah, this is going to end up being like a little bit over 10 minutes. And that's going to be the first and last time we played the DOS version of Blades of Steel. So here's a game that you probably didn't know existed. I couldn't even get a shot off. We end up losing the exhibition 4-2, but we scored 2 goals, which I think is actually a really good thing, all things considered. And all of this stuff, I mean, you saw before, right? This all comes from the arcade game. It's all the same. It's on the Game Boy game, it's on the NES game, and I assume it's going to be on the Amiga game when we play that. I'm kind of looking forward to the Amiga game because the Amiga, in theory, only had 1 button, but some of the games I think might have had more, so we'll see what happens with that. But there you have it for Blades of Steel. And yeah, that was Blades of Steel on the MS-DOS on the computer. So, whip out your old DOS box and we can have a Blades of Steel party. Anyway, I'm not sure if you enjoy that or not. I don't even know if I enjoyed that or not, but that's the way that it is. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.